Minecraft offers us so many ways to take down our chosen targets. We all instinctively reach for our sword and our shield to take up the task, but I began to wonder, how can I make this as inefficient and costly as possible? So I scrolled through the inventory in creative mode, and I landed on our favorite heavy gravity-prone block, the anvil. Yes, the block that breaks with use despite being costly to make in early game. This cartoonish object has been used countless times to prank friends, but what about foe? Today I am going to be finding how much anvil power is needed to instantly kill each mob. Now to begin, I had to establish certain heights in which to measure an anvil's power, since an anvil dropped from 2 blocks above something will not have the same effect as one dropped from 2,000, unlike in real life where no matter what the distance, you're getting crushed. Looking at the wiki tells us that 1 heart's damage, aka 2 HP, is taken per block falling, meaning you have to exclude the block space above the surface. So if an anvil is falling 4 blocks down, the target would only take 3 hearts damage, since it really only falls 3 blocks before actually stopping. This is one small qualm I have with anvils, as yes, the math makes sense, but realistically the anvil would probably cause a small indent in the ground at the very least, and a 3 scale magnitude earthquake at most. Damage dealt by an anvil is capped at 20 hearts as well, so once you pass 20 blocks above an entity, it will take the same amount of damage as past 200, which, again, doesn't make much sense. Like, yeah, no matter what, you're going to die, but how much are you going to die? Are we talking smushing or drilling? So, we established the formula for pain via anvil, but then I had to write out the health for every mob in the game. I don't recommend it. And please don't do this. But I did, because I'm stubborn and have a penchant for torturing myself with information. I quickly realized that some mobs are obviously over 40 hit points and thus would take multiple anvils at the same time to instantly kill them. Because of this, I separated the 1 anvil mobs from the multiple, accurately named the small and big mobs. Of course, with small meaning super mediocre animals living life, and big being bringing the guillotine. I began with the small mobs. It was relatively easy finding the height needed for each mob, since 1 block falling equals 1 heart taken, plus the 2 extra blocks to account for the ground and placing the anvil above it. Note, shulkers had to be excluded from all of this because apparently no matter how high the anvil falls onto the stupid purple shell, it still bounces right off. Now, I will save you all from me just listing off the falling heights, because trust me, it does not make for good entertainment. Pillager needs 14. Ravager needs 52. Shulker needs 17. Instead, I lumped them all together. Smaller mobs such as fish, parrots, chickens, and bats had about 1.5 to 3 hearts, the wimpiest being the rabbit, tropical fish, salmon, and pufferfish, all tied for the worst. Not included is the parrot, which in my mind still seems like the most fragile animal to ever exist in the game. I mean, a gentle breeze kills these feathery bastards. How do they not have the worst hit points? Medium-sized mobs were about 5 to 7 hearts, like the cat, fox, pig, cow, and squid. Larger mobs fell between 10 and 20, like the hoglins, witch, and vindicators. Horses and their variations, like the donkey, mule, skeleton horse, and zombie horse, had to be averaged out to about 11.25, as the lowest hearts a horse could have is 7.5 and the highest 15. Now, we have the mobs you don't really care about taking care of, and now we can move on to the part that you probably skipped ahead to, the big boys. Making up this category, we have the Iron Golem, the Elder Guardian, the Piglin Brute, the Ravager, the Ender Dragon, and the Wither. The Ravager and Iron Golem both have 50 hearts, meaning they need 2 anvils at full height and a third at 12 to get the job done. Those are some hefty boys. The Elder Guardian has 40 hearts and would need 2 anvils at full height to squash that bad boy. This monster would give you mining fatigue and stop you from saving it, even if you wanted to. Talk about self-sabotage. Piglin Brute has 25 hearts and would need an anvil at full height plus another 7 blocks high. The Ender Dragon has 100 hearts, meaning this absolute chonk would need 5 anvils at full heights to get wrecked. And last but not least, the Wither. With a staggering 150 hearts, this master landscaper needs 7 anvils at full height, as well as 1 more at 12 blocks. But here is where I started running into problems. My calculations were under the assumption that this would be possible in creative mode, as I saw the biggest obstacle being the resources, but it was far worse than that. You see, I could not ensure that the larger mobs would stay exactly in one spot. The Ender Dragon defied physics and kept flying through the bedrock. The Elder Guardian, being the slippery bastard it is, kept hopping around and making it incredibly difficult to smear it into glue. But it only got worse from there. I moved on to try murking the Piglin brute, as it was only 1 block wide and thus had nowhere to go. But that made another problem. Because it was only 1 block wide, I couldn't send multiple anvils careening downwards at the same time, meaning its death wasn't instant. It became clear that although the math was correct, I also took gracious assumptions at the behavior of the mobs, expecting them to just fall in line for death. I wandered around, defeated, watching the world collapse around me. I had brought fire and brimstone into this world, thinking I could contain it with math and pure iron. How wrong I was. I then realized I missed a mob. Man. I quickly drew up the calculations and prepared for the worst. I put together a contraption to drop the anvil for me. My life now being a lever switch away, I watched the world burn while the wind whistled above me. Damn it! I'm in creative mode. Hey guys, I hope you liked this video. If you did, be sure to drop a like, subscribe, turn those notifications on, and comment below what you liked most about this video.